Hey y'all, thanks for joining me today. I'm going to be demonstrating for you how to make this beautiful headband. It has an intricate design. It looks very complicated to make, but it's not that difficult. I'm going to break it down and you'll see for yourself. I just wanted to call attention to the fact that this headband has a hair tie that acts as the closure. A few benefits for that. It's got stretch to it, so it makes putting it on over your head easy, and it helps hold it securely on your head. And then some of the other headbands, they might use a button closure or have strands that you tie together at the back of your head. This really eliminates the possibility of getting those wayward strands of your hair caught and pulled and such. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. You'll need to have a hair tie for this project, and I'm using a 3.5 millimeter hook. The yarn I chose is a periwinkle color. Of course, you can use whatever one you want. But we're going to start off with a slip knot, and go ahead and put that slip knot on the inside of your hair tie to start. Put your hook inside of the slip knot, and we're going to make 11 half double crochets into this hair tie. So from here, we're going to grab the yarn and put the hook on the inside of the hair tie, grab the yarn again and pull it up, so now you have 3 loops on your hook. Grab the yarn and pull it through all 3 of those loops. That's the first half double crochet. So we're going to add 10 more to that for a total of 11. Okay, so that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. All right. So you saw how I just crocheted right along, I held the tail right up to the base of the hair tie, and I just crocheted over the top of that. Okay. We're going to chain up 3 now, and we're going to turn our work. We're going to make another double crochet. This one's going to count as your first double crochet, and we're going to put it into the next stitch right there. Okay, we will grab the yarn, pull it through 2, grab the yarn and pull it through the other 2 for our double crochet. Next, we chain 1, and we're going to skip 1 stitch down below. Into the next stitch right next to that, we're going to put a double crochet. Okay, now you're going to want to turn your work slightly to the side, because what we're going to do is work around the double crochet that we just made. Okay, so grab the yarn with your hook and put the hook down here into this chain 1 space. Grab the yarn again and pull it up through that space. Don't do anything with it. We're just going to leave it hanging out here on our hook. We're going to grab the yarn again and go back into that same chain 1 space. Grab the yarn and pull that one back up. We're going to do that 2 more times. Grab the yarn, put it in that space, grab the yarn, pull it out. Grab the yarn, put the hook in that space, grab the yarn and pull it back out. Okay, you should have 9 of loops on your hook. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Next, we're going to grab the yarn, we're going to pull it through all 9 of those loops. To seal this stitch, we use a slip stitch. Okay, now I believe this stitch is called a back post puff stitch, but that's quite a mouthful. I'm just going to call it the sideways stitch here for this video, okay? So next what we do is we chain 1, because we're going to skip this stitch here, and we're going to work into the stitch next to it. We're going to put another double crochet. We're going to chain 1, we're going to skip 1 and go into this stitch here. We'll make a double crochet, and again now we're going to work around this double crochet. We're going to wrap our yarn, go into the chain 1 space, grab the yarn and pull it out, grab the yarn, go back into the chain space, grab the yarn and pull it up, grab the yarn, pull it down through, grab it, and now for our last one, we're grabbing our yarn, putting it into the chain 1 space, grab the yarn and pull it up. So again, if you need to double check, go ahead. You should have 9 loops on your hook. Wrap the yarn around your hook and pull it through all of those 9 loops. Sometimes it does get a little caught on one of the strands that might have come loose from the yarn, but that's okay, just take your time. Sometimes it happens. And we seal it with the slip stitch. Okay, from there we're chaining 1, we're going to skip 1, and we're always going to end our row with 2 double crochets. So there's the 1, and then put another double crochet into the stitch next to it. So these are kind of like our border, and then our stitches, our fancy stitches, are going to be in the middle. Okay, we're going to chain up 2 next and turn our work, and on this row we're going to put 1/2 double crochet into each stitch. So that chain 2 is going to count as our first half double crochet. And for the chain 1 spot, we'll just go up into that chain 1 space. You don't need to worry about trying to find the chain for that, to put your half double crochet into that chain stitch. Just work into the space. All right, we put 1 into our sideways stitch, and here we are at the chain 1 stitch again. We put a half double into our double crochet, our chain 1 space, our sideways space, our chain 1 space, and then our last 2 double crochets we're putting our half double crochets into. Okay, we're at the end of the row, then we chain up 3, 1, 2, 3, and we turn our work. We're going to go into the next stitch. We're going to put our second double crochet for our border, right? We chain 1, we skip that one, and we're working into the next stitch. We're going to put our double crochet there for our first sideways stitch. So turn your work a little, make it a little bit easier. and we yarn over, put our hook into that chain 1 space, grab the yarn and pull it up, yarn over, put the hook in, grab the yarn, pull it back up, yarn over, put the hook in, grab the yarn, and yarn over, put the hook in, grab the yarn, and pull it back up. So then we yarn over and pull it through all of those loops, and we seal it with a slip stitch. Okay? Now we're chaining 1 because we're skipping that stitch, and we're going to go into the stitch right next to it. We're putting the double crochet right there, and we're going to work another sideways stitch. Okay? So we're going to grab the yarn and pull it down in a total of 4 times for each of these sideways stitches. Remember to seal it with a slip stitch, and then we're chaining 1. We skip 1, and that's where we're going to put our next double crochet, and that's going to be our next sideways stitch. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Grab the yarn and pull it through all of those stitches, and remember to seal it with a slip stitch. We chain 1, and we're going to end our row with our 2 double crochets. Chain up 2 and turn it, and this is our half double crochet row, where we put our half double crochets into each one of these stitches. Remember just to go into that chain 1 space. Now you may see on your work there's this little piece of yarn that's kind of hanging out here. Pull it like this, you can see it a little bit better. That's just a strand of yarn that was for our slip stitch. So that actually belongs to this stitch. So we're working right here into this big space, the chain 1 space. Okay? So don't accidentally put it down in between those ones. All right, so we're down here to the end of the row again. I'm going to put the half double crochets into each of those, the framing 2 double crochet. I'm going to chain up 3, turn my work, and this is where we just repeat. So we're going to repeat these 4 rows all the way through. Okay? Now I found that 16, so if you use the half double crochet in this, I count these 2 rows as 1. So 1, 2, we'll make our 16 of those. That's the perfect size for the headband. Okay. For a kid size, I'd probably cut it back to maybe 14 or even 13, but we'll skip 1. You just have to kind of measure your head, see what works best. Remember to put your chain 1s in between. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pull it through, seal it with the slip stitch. Skip 1, and then you put your 2 double crochets in. So once you get going with it, you can see it doesn't take much time at all to move through and complete this project. But like I said, it's just a repeating pattern. So you chain up 3, right? So there you have it. So you just repeat, like I said, just repeat these I guess it's the 4 rows. So the fancy work, the half double, fancy work, the half double. So those ones you just repeat and keep going. So why don't you go ahead and take care of that, and I'll meet you back and I'll show you how to connect it to the other side of the hair tie. All right, so I have finished my rows, the 16 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. Now I'm going to show you how to attach it to the hair tie. So we're just going to chain up our 2. They'll act as our first half double crochet. And then you'll want to wrap the yarn around, put your hook through the hair tie, and then come back over to your work. Grab the yarn and pull it through the loop, and then grab the yarn and pull it through the 3. All right, so wrap the yarn and put it through. Whoops. Wrap the yarn, put it through. One half double crochet in each of the stitches, making sure that you go down underneath the hair tie. Now if your hair tie it gets too close, all you gotta do is just pull it the other way, right? As it's movable like that. And there you have it. At the end you will chain 2, pull your yarn through, and then you just pull that tight to make your knot there. Weave in the ends using the rule of 3. If you haven't heard of that before, that just means that you sew your tail 3 different directions. So maybe 1, 2, and 3. You could do 1, 2, and 3, but regardless, you understand what I'm talking about. And if you're like me now, your mind is sort of racing with the possibilities of how you can customize your headbands using a variety of different stitches, maybe variation of this back post puff stitch, or the sideways stitch, as I've been calling it through this video, and really make this headband your own. All right, well, that's it for now. Please be sure to leave me a comment, a like, a follow. Let me know your thoughts and your feedback. I appreciate it. Thank you.